Hey, everyone. All right, we're Facebook Living. We're just about ready to kick off the weather forecast. And then what we're going to be doing is literally opening up these persimmon seeds live on the air. After the newscast, we're going to dive into a lot more that Peyton, Zach, we've all been putting together our minds, and we're going to give you that winter forecast that's coming up in just a bit. But right now, we're during the commercial break. Weather is coming up next. We've got a lot of weather that's ongoing. Storms, possibly some winter weather as early as Sunday night and Monday morning.
Oh, yeah.
And so what you're going to see is maybe just a little bit of a black before we go to the actual weather segment on the news, and then we're cutting open the persimmon seeds. Join in the conversation. Let us know what you've got. Let us know what you think the winter is going to be like. We'll have more coming up in just a bit. You got to stop this from following me.
You've got some comments coming in here.
Okay.
A lot of people saying hi. So, yeah, we're in commercial break right now, but pretty soon it's going to come out to Dan in full weather. And then when that happens, we're going to take it right to him. And then you can see the official Your Weather Authority forecast as we cut open the persimmon seeds. And I think that's pretty cool. You know, you can cut open seeds, and Mother Nature can give you a hint on what the winter weather might have in store for us.
Probably been talking with Old Man Winter, you know.
Probably.
Just see what happens.
Yeah, they probably know each other. Yeah, so again, we're in commercial break right now. Pretty soon it's going to 30 seconds. So
look at this guy. Whoever's directing the shows, doing awesome. Sure is.
Josh is the best.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to black real quick.
Okay.
Before, just before the weather segment's about to.
Southside Elementary, science, technology, education, arts, and math. And kids got to learn all about the weather. There you see us filling our fog cannon. As you can see, the kids love that. It's always a fun time, and gets to show you how those fog rings and the vortex get shot out of that vortex tube. Pretty cool. Tornado Machine also did some hail demonstrations. Thank you so much, Southside Elementary, for a wonderful time. All right, let's get to the weather forecast. We've got a lot to talk about. Let me tell you this. You've got to see the leaves tomorrow. I think that's going to be the best time to get out and enjoy it. We will see some rain in the middle of the day, but that sunshine will be out tomorrow afternoon into the evening. We'll have a partly cloudy sky. And as you can see, those colors are beautiful. But this weekend, we've got rain. We've got heavy rain. We've got colder weather and a freeze coming next week. And I think those leaves are going to turn brown. If you're waiting until next weekend, that might be mistaken. Notice the total precipitation, about 1 inch in Fayetteville, over 1 inch in Sallisaw, almost 1.5 inches. Now, we've got more rain coming. This happens overnight, Saturday into Sunday, and really Saturday afternoon, right at the time a lot of trunk or treats are supposed to be taking place. If you were going to the Spooktacular at Arvest, it's been postponed to the following Saturday, just to let you know. But let's take a look at the weather forecast, and there's a lot to get through, and then we'll get to our winter forecast here at the end after the 7 days. 69 degrees, it is mild. It's also humid. We've got upper 60s to lower 70s across the board, and we want to time out this rain for you to let you know late morning into the early afternoon. That's that most likely time for some rain chances. In the evening, Friday night football, I think we're looking A-okay. As we move into our Saturday morning into the afternoon, that's when the rain chances really ramp back up. So on the satellite and radar, you can see that weather system to the north, a lot of energy moving in, and you'll notice this front that drops to the south. This is going to bring some rain and thunderstorm activity, and there you can see on Friday night, that front clears the area, so midday rain on Friday. Then what happens, this is where it gets tricky. On Saturday morning, the front pushes south, but it stalls out. Now watch what happens as the front lifts back to the north, widespread rain, thunderstorm activity, heavy rain, 2 to 4 inches, and then it continues to rain on Sunday. And then Monday, you can see that precipitation that might even change to a little bit of sleet. So here's that extended outlook. Obviously, the weekend is a wash. We've got a much colder week next week. Halloween is going to be dry. Let's get to that 7-day forecast so we can get to our winter folklore. And you see Saturday and Sunday, we're in the mid-60s. Sunday, we drop down to 40 degrees at night. So we've got the high temperature in the morning, and then we fall throughout the day. Next week, well, temperatures are going to be in the upper 40s, mid 20s for morning lows. That's pretty chilly. And the River Valley, well, you can see that 7-day. If you didn't get to see it long enough, we'll show it again on Facebook Live. But we've only got a limited time here to talk about the winter outlook, Chad. First of all, we want to look at the Farmer's Almanac. There's two different ones. This is the Farmer's Almanac. Unseasonably cold and stormy is what it says. The old Farmer's Almanac, which is a different Farmer's Almanac, also gives us cold and snowy across a good portion of the country. It almost looks like the day after tomorrow forecast, but you'll see which one will be more correct. That remains to be seen. But let's talk about the persimmon seeds, because there's other winter folklore, the number of fogs in August, the first week in August, how hot it is, and also the woolly worms. We'll talk more about that on Facebook Live. But there you see on the left, a knife, in the middle, a fork, on the right hand, the spoon. So what do those three mean? The knife means a cold, icy winter. Fork is a mild winter. And the spoon, harsh, snowy winter. You ready?
Okay, yeah.
Time to cut open these persimmon seeds.
So I want a fork right here.
You
So
want a
what do
fork? Yeah, you don't want any winter. So
Okay.
this is how this works. You got to get some gloves because they're slimy. Those persimmon fruit are, by the way, from Frayed Knot Farms, Nody and Chris Williams on the north side of Winslow.
Okay,
So
awesome. I was wondering where you get them.
We get them every year from there. So
Okay.
this is what you got to do. You got to put it into a pliers.
Yep.
A very, very sharp razor blade. And you can't be holding it with your hand. So we're going to cut this open, and you got to put some force down to cut it open. And that
Yeah, and you're butterflying it too. You're not, like,
butterflying, you
cutting
got to cut it right in
Yeah,
half. Hold that up, and that
All right.
looks like
So what is that? Is
that looks like a knife. Yeah,
Okay.
that definitely looks like a knife. I
And
would
the
say.
knife means cold, icy winter.
Yeah.
That is not what we want to see.
All right, I do believe that too. We'll show you one more. We'll cut open one more, and we'll do some more on Facebook Live as well. I want to know what you saw. Okay, so we're cutting this open. That wasn't good because I didn't cut it down the middle.
Yeah, well, that one's blank. That means no winter at
No
all.
winter
right?
at all. All right,
Sweet.
I'm happy with that.
I like that.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Got to hold it in between.
Yeah, that's tough.
It is. It is
That's,
really tough. And if they're slimy, then you're in trouble. So, and I'm trying to do this in the
Yeah,
time
gotta
that's
try and let 'em
allowed.
dry out overnight or something.
Exactly. Yeah, there we
Ooh.
go. That's going to be a good one.
There you go.
Cut that baby open,
Uh-oh.
and no winner at all.
Okay. Fork.
One more. We'll cut open one more. I think we got enough
While you
time
cut this
here
one,
for
tell me, are
more.
those farmers' almanacs, are those part of the folklore, or are those legitimate?
This there you go. Some farmers swear by them. They're not. They're kind of like a horoscope. They'll
Okay.
get it right sometimes. They'll get it wrong other times.
Now that looks like what, a spoon? What would you call
Now
that?
that's definitely a spoon right
Okay.
there. A lot of people seeing spoons. So what's our winter forecast? Well, let's give you that detail real
I
quick.
was gonna say we've had one of every kind now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what we're calling for. So last winter, we really didn't have much except for a very heavy snow in late January. Last year, we had a weak La Nina. This year, it's an El Nino that's going to continue. That's cooler and wetter conditions. And so finally, we've got 2 light snows, 1 heavy snow. That's what I think we see this year.
Okay.
And 1 icing event too.
Oh, I hate those.
And that's what the persimmon seeds are showing. We're seeing a lot of knives.
pretty good mix. Yeah.
So we're thinking a cold December and January, but above average temperatures for February. So I'll be able to get that nugget ice maker back out. That's all.
Perfect.
It's all I'm
Just in
worried
time
about.
for March Madness.
Yeah,
and
it's stormy
spring.
and slushy. I think we're going to see severe weather. I also think we see the potential for a winter mix. So to
Okay.
sum it all up, slightly below average in temperatures.
Okay.
And I think that we see around average snowfall, which is 6.5 inches.
Okay.
But we got a blog on our website. Go ahead and check it out at knwa.com. Click on the weather blog. We're having a push at 8 o'clock tomorrow, so you'll know about that. And join us on Facebook Live for the conversation.
Always a ton of fun. And
Yes.
of course, the question is going to be now, will one of those snows fall for Christmas?
Oh,
on our white Christmas.
It's been since 2009, the
Wow,
last
it's been
one.
a long-
So
too long.
We are due.
Yeah. All right. Well, people in Bentonville are cycling all for a good cause. Find out how NWA Cycle Nation is helping raise awareness for heart disease after the break.
All right.
We're back on. Can you guys hear us? We all
No.
good?
I don't think so. Okay.
Oh yeah, OBS.
Yep, we're good.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're good.
Sweet.
We're back on.
Did it
All right.
I put my jacket on. A little cold. A little cold in here.
Is it a little cold?
Yeah,
We're
Is
getting,
that a-
getting some winter
is that a
vibes.
sign
I've been
for
sweating like crazy.
winter?
In fact, if you were at Steam Night, it was literally I was letting off steam. I was sweating so much. I don't know what was going on. I was running
Well, I
around.
think that's because it's pretty humid
It is
right
humid,
now.
and
Yeah.
that humidity
Oh, boy.
is going to lead to some rain and storm. So,
Yeah.
what do you guys think? What do you think the winter is going to bring? That is not good for arthritis. That well, cutting open the persimmon seeds. Number one, they're really hard. They're really tough. I'll let you guys do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it here on Facebook Live, so you guys will get to see what it's like. But
Look at TJ's comment. I'm thinking the average snowfall about 2 to 6 inches.
yeah,
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
what is the forecast in Fort Smith tomorrow night? So Fort Smith is going to see, just like Northwest Arkansas, some rain middle of the day. It actually will start late morning. You'll start to see rain late morning, and then it moves out by the early afternoon. So I think around 3, 4 o'clock, the rain will be pushing out. We've actually got that 7. We showed you the 7-day, but I'll show you the timing for the River Valley.
That's good because high school football tomorrow looking like it should be good.
I think it will.
Yeah.
But it will get a bit chilly, especially in Northwest Arkansas.
When that
Mhm.
front comes through, but that's not the
Yeah.
big push of cold air. The big push of
Yeah.
cold air is coming in later.
Just a little tease.
Let's do the 2-day for the River Valley here. So we got all those details. So for the winter outlook, we've got, just to let you know, we're looking into the other folklore, the number of fogs in August, the woolly worm caterpillars. I haven't seen any, so I don't know what it looks like, but maybe you have. Let me know. So here's a look at the forecast right there for the River Valley. Now that 20% might be able to be dropped off. What do you guys think? Still leave it in there?
Um,
I think
Maybe.
it'll
Might
be
be
more.
more.
for the River Valley.
I think it'll be-
Just because the front lingers, right?
Yeah.
So that front stalls out and then returns back to the north as a warm front and then comes
Yeah.
back to the south as a cold front. All right. So we're going to have to be quiet because we're still in the middle of the newscast, but we'll get, again, once this newscast is over, which is just a few minutes from now, we'll be able to.
One of the best-selling
dive
authors in
into
U.S.
it.
history was in Fayetteville tonight.
Yeah,
R.L. Stein,
all
who
winter.
is known for writing best-selling Goosebumps
I think
series,
that's
was
the
a
entire
favorite book
winter.
library.
December
He signed
2,
copies of his books
Yeah.
and spoke to the
So light
audience about his
snow,
work.
like half-inch,
Goosebumps
inch,
series
and then
has
we get
sold
like,
more than
I would say 4 or
400
5
million
inches of heavy
copies
snow.
nationwide.
So and then that's about
Also,
6
still see a lot of young readers in that
and
crowd
then
too.
also some ice.
Well,
too,
people are
so it's
cycling
still
to end
manageable.
heart disease in our community. Tonight was the annual NWA Cycle Nation in Bentonville. It's a movement empowering people to be healthy with the goal of eradicating.
That's our
stroke and
director.
heart disease. Kevin Dan with the American Heart Association says events like these help with research and education. The next one is the Vestido Rojo on November 11th, where attendees will go red for Hispanic women in their health.
And
Let's
bring
take a
it
live
up to
look
the end.
outside tonight.
All right, that one you
We
did?
had that winter outlook, but what about just this weekend ahead? How much of this rain's going to stick around? Chief Meteorologist Dan Scott back after the break.
I don't know how much time we have.
Probably not much.
That felt like a really quick block.
Yeah, a lot of stuff was killed.
Oh.
Just takes a while to do all that stuff.
Yeah. Don't
Um,
blame you. Especially with an active forecast.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Did you get a wrapped mid persimmon seed cut?
No.
Oh.
No.
I figured you got a wrap by the time you sat down.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like much, but I mean, that's the average over the past 70 years.
Yeah. Yeah. For the past 70 years, the average snowfall per year is 6.5 inches.
Mm.
And we're predicting right around there for this year based on many factors, right? We can dive into those in just a little bit. But a lot of cool folklore that goes into predicting the upcoming winter season.
Yeah, it's weird how some of it kind of
And-
checks out.
Yeah, some of it does, and I mean it's funny. I mean you can put weight into the folklore, or just it's fun to it's always fun to look at.
Yeah, just see how that holds up compared to what we do. See if we can do better than folklore.
Yeah, and last year the folklore held up pretty good because one of the indications we do is like how many fogs you have in August, and we had 5 fogs in August, and they say that correlates to how many snows you're going to have in the wintertime. So we had 5 wintertime fogs, 5 wintertime snows. So
Yeah.
so that was pretty cool. So we can talk more about that once the newscast ends, because right now we're on commercial break. How about wind chill? That's a good question, TJ. Yeah, wind chill. I'm thinking, well, Tuesday morning the winds should be dying down. Monday morning the winds are going to be a bit breezy. So Tuesday morning we're going lows in the mid 20s. So I think the wind should be a little bit lighter, but still a light wind, still maybe upper teens.
Yeah, teens. I can see like 18, 19.
Yeah. So Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning too, going to be cold as the high pressure settles over us. So that's a killing freeze. Anything below 25. So might want to start thinking about getting the plants inside, because next week and Tuesday is Halloween. So
Try to cover those outdoor plants too.
Yeah, a lot of people have kids going out trick or treating Halloween. Going to be cold. The high Tuesday in the upper 40s. Just like 30 degrees below average.
You have to wear like some thermal gear underneath the costumes.
Yeah, it's a good idea. So, yeah, but gonna be cold. Trying to bring the heavy jacket. Oh yeah,
Yeah. Just went and bought me a couple of winter clothes. Just getting ready.
nice.
Have to unpack all my other winter clothes
Yeah.
too.
Get my corduroy jacket out. Yep.
Let's take a look at that.
Yeah.
Still having trouble finding consensus on these seats here.
We're getting some that you're just mutilating winter. completely.
I wish I could. I would if I could.
But we've seen some spoons, we've seen some knives. That's kind of the general consensus. But no knives, but we'll be definitely having the rain gauges fill up. A lot of rain coming for the weekend.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.
Facebook Live after this. Join us. All right, good job, Chad. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Facebook Live right now.
Heck yeah.
And now the newscast is over, so we can be loud.
Yeah.
Right, Dan?
Yep. We can be loud. We can talk as loud as we want. We can answer all your questions.
Maybe.
And if you have any, I don't know.
Yeah.
Only
I think
70
we
people
should.
on here. I don't think people want to know
What's-
about the winter.
Yeah, they saw
I think
your
we
winter
should
outlook.
dive
and they're just
into
like,
the.
It's like done, finished.
I think we should
That's
dive
it.
into the folklore.
Yes, because
on Fox,
I was able to do that.
Dan dove into some pretty cool folklore that I thought was pretty cool.
But that's because I had the whole time for just the persimmons.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
one I had to combine my weather forecast, which is crazy busy,
Oh yeah,
on top of
and if
doing
you
an
saw-
entire science experiment in 2.5 minutes.
And if you saw the 5 o'clock, I took the whole time doing the weather
Yeah.
for this weekend. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
All right, so let's get to Winter Folklore 2023. So first of all, what are some things that people know about? I know this. Nature knows a lot more than we do about the weather.
Yeah.
And my wife says the squirrels are going nuts right now. They are gathering
I feel like the squirrels know.
literally and figuratively. They're going nuts.
Like they said, like when a big storm comes, the birds fly away.
Do you see that? Are you seeing squirrels kind of running around everywhere? Everywhere I
I
look,
tell you,
they-
when
the
when me,
cheeks are
when me
full.
and Chad were playing golf Monday morning, there was a lot of squirrels scurrying around.
Yeah,
I don't know. So
I remember you tried to almost feed a squirrel.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. But like
for feed a squirrel persimmons.
yeah.
and for like
Josh,
deer,
great
deer
job
season, it was
directing.
good.
Hey, wait, come on in here.
Did you like your shout out?
So we have the master director right there.
How's it
Yes.
going?
What's up, Josh? Now, those boxes looked awesome.
It looked good, man.
Oh,
It looked good.
that looked like a wise bagel to
Built
me.
that by hand.
Really?
Oh,
Like
Blood,
10 seconds?
sweat, tears. Mostly tears. Just kidding.
that, my friends, is a wise bagel. That's wise bagel right there.
Have a good night,
All right.
viewers.
Hey,
Have a good night, you guys.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
good
Josh.
job.
That was awesome, man. That's our director. He's magic and severe weather coverage. Oh
Oh yeah.
that's where
Comes
that's
in
where the
clutch.
money's made right there. That's where
Yeah.
it comes in clutch. All right, enough of that. Let's talk about the winter folklore. So the number of fogs in August equals the number of snows in winter. Does this really ring true? It did last year.
Sure did last year.
It was on the money. In fact, we had a lot of fogs, and those fogs were going nuts, man. This year, how many fogs?
Well,
two
like,
at Drake Field. Now,
Two
Peyton, you
widespread
can explain.
fogs.
Yeah.
So we had some patchy fogs here and there, probably like 5 or 6. I think closer to 5. But like 2 dense, widespread fogs, only 2 times at Drake Field.
Yeah.
So when we talked about our outlook, that's why I kind of said 1 light snow, 1 heavy snow, because we get a little bit of a mix of both. We
Yeah.
saw that with the persimmon seeds as well. We had like half spoon, half knife.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's exactly
Well
what it
said.
was showing. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
well said. That's perfect. Now, in order to have a fog, I consider it a widespread fog. Drake Field can have a lot of fog a lot of times.
Yeah.
And nobody else sees fog. And we got to put in our weather rate numbers.
Before midnight.
Just don't forget. Just
All right.
don't forget,
I'll
please. All right. So that's the 2 widespread fogs, quarter-mile visibility, less than that. We had that. And those are the 2 days that happened. So what about the other folklore? This is pretty interesting because this also doesn't do a terrible job, but it's not perfect. Hot first week in August equals a harsh winter. So that's what they say. If it's really hot that first week in August, along with the number of fogs in August, then that equals a snowy, harsh
I feel
winter.
like not just the first week, the whole month was hot.
It
Oh, yeah.
was. August was pretty darn toasty. And the normal for the high and the low, I know that's like 78. That seems balmy. That's
Yeah.
nice. Well, that's with the high and the low.
Yeah.
So that's the mean temperature. Our mean for 2023 was 5.3 degrees above. That's substantial right
It's a
there.
lot.
Yeah. So
That'd be pretty harsh.
that was up there. Yeah. So or 4.3, right? Yeah, 4.3.
Yeah.
4.3. That's still in statistical, analysis. That's a lot.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then the third one, and you got to help me with this. I haven't seen any. Have you seen woolly worms?
So I did some research on that.
Yes.
And in North Carolina, they have something similar to like Groundhog Day, where they pick a special woolly worm and watch it grow throughout the year leading up to winter.
Uh-huh.
And that's when they like show them off and be like, this is what the winter's going to be.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I've got basically a picture of what this looks like. So here's the woolly worm or the woolly bear caterpillar. Woolly worm, woolly bear, both the same thing. This is what it kind of looks like. Let's see if it's going to focus in on it. So there you see it. The woolly bear caterpillar. The first one is where you have a thin brown line. That equals pretty harsh winter.
Yeah.
The other one, the brown line's a little thicker. The one below it, that's a moderate winter. So not necessarily super strong. And then the one below that, that's a bigger brown line. So the bigger the brown line, the more milder the winter. Now the other one you can see, and by the way, the head of the woolly worm is in the middle of the picture and the tail is at the end. So the one that's the second from the bottom has black at the head and then brown at the end. That would indicate a harsh winter to begin with, and then it warms up during the second half of the winter.
What if you just flip it around?
Well, if you flip it around, like the bottom one, where the head is, again, head's in the middle right there, that would indicate a mild start to the winter and then a harsher end. So we got to know.
Okay.
We got to know what's going on, man. I have yet to see any woolly worm caterpillars too. The woolly bear
Do they even
caterpillars.
exist up here?
Yeah, they do.
Yes,
Oh,
send
yeah,
us in
100%.
some
Yeah,
pictures.
please,
Yeah,
because I want to see.
you can show them on air.
Chipmunks and squirrels have been busy. I would agree. They
Yeah.
have. I've been seeing them. They've been storing nuts like crazy, and they've been doing it a lot earlier. So nature kind of tells us, well, El Nino. What does El Nino typically bring? So Richard says he hopes it's a harsh winter. Is this the most recent one that you made?
Correct.
All right. So let's look at an El Nino winter and what it typically does and how it impacts our winter. So first of all, what is El Nino? Now, if you don't know, it's warmer than normal waters near the equator west of South America. That's where you look at that area of water. Now, that doesn't mean warm. It's warmer than normal. So you got to make sure you preface that. Warmer, it's like an anomaly. It's got to be warmer than normal. So if it's 80 degrees normally, and you're thinking, wow, that's warm, but it has to be like 82 or 83, and then that would be, 2.5 degrees above the average. So it's
Yeah.
warmer than normal near the equator. Now, what does that do? Well, that controls and steers to some extent our jet stream pattern. It's not the main driver, but it is a lot of it. So if you'll notice that California has seen a lot of rain over the last few
Yeah.
months, and there was that period in because we were so active where California had a lot of storms, and the
Late
drought
July, early August.
the drought is gone. Yeah.
Southern California.
Yeah, even like San Diego was getting a bunch of stuff.
Well, they're getting a bunch of stuff now. And yeah, and I just talked to my mom. She said it was clouding up. So anyways, you can see how the jet stream is flowing over Southern California. That will bring very wet and active weather. The persistent extended Pacific jet stream, there it is right there. Mainly wetter than normal and drier than normal, which would tend to believe that it would be milder than normal. Now, here's the thing. You look at that and you see the polar jet is way up to the north. So how does that cold air get to drop south? And that comes from the
Arctic Oscillation.
The Arctic Oscillation. That's right. What's going on, Blaze? Hope you're doing well. Yes, we are going to post this Facebook Live. We're going to have it in Peyton's weather blog. Peyton wrote a real detailed blog all about the winter and about the upcoming winter. He looks at statistics. He calculates it from 3 La Ninas and 1 El Nino, which is exactly what we're seeing for this winter. We've had 3 La Ninas the past 3 winters, and now this year we're going into an El Nino winter.
It's a good read. If you love science, it's
Yeah.
definitely a good read.
Yeah. Look at this. Lisa says squirrels and chipmunks have been busy in Bella Vista.
I believe
Yeah.
it.
The squirrels know.
They must.
I mean, that's yeah. And Native Americans gather firewood when they know the winter is going to
Yeah.
be bad.
I wonder
So
how the squirrels know.
that might be. Yeah. Oh, some
Oh,
apples.
Oh,
Oh. 2 slices.
Two slices.
All right,
Zach,
I'll
you
take,
want it?
Nah, you can have it.
you don't want an apple?
No, you can have it.
Oh, slimy now.
So these are well, probably because of the persimmon seeds.
I think they're starting.
How
to
many of you have
smell.
like cosmic crisp apples? Oh, they are
Okay.
good.
The crisp is definitely out of this world.
Okay. Katrina, how wide was that band? Middle was orange. That does happen.
Did it take up like a third or a quarter of like an eighth?
Good night, Richard. Hope you have a great night. Some icy puffy clouds.
Oh,
That would be thunders. That would be thunder
Serious.
freezing rain. Yeah. So we've had 2 back-to-back huge snows a couple of years during an El Nino, and a La Nina is what it is, Brooke. A La Nina. So which is the girl, and El Nino is the boy. But anyways, we did have last year 1 heavy snow. It was January 24th into the 25th. And the year before that, we didn't have a whole lot of snow, if I remember.
2021.
Yeah.
You know, Texas A&M. That's when we had a disastrous freeze all
Oh,
across
yeah.
Texas. That was just
remember that?
ridiculous.
That is right.
A lot of snow, a lot of ice. a lot
That
of people
was
without power.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, there are actually 2.
It
Yeah.
was.
There
Mm-hmm.
was
Well,
one
it was
huge
right,
one.
right after Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
February 15th, 16th.
Yeah, I think Valentine's Day was like the beginning of that
Yeah.
freeze.
Did you know that Drake Field hit minus 20?
No.
That year, like in 2021 or what?
Wind
Or is that just
chill?
random?
Or
Minus 20
air
actual
temperature?
air temperature. Drake Field got down to
Wow.
minus 20.
They have like dry ice out
what
there.
was the wind
Oh, yeah.
chill?
Oh, it was cold. It was
40s?
31, 35, 40 below. It was only like a 5-10 mile an hour wind too.
Wow.
Woo! It
That's
was
crazy.
cool. Just the tip and head and quarter end was
Just the
black.
tip of head and quarter.
Okay, so that kind of shows maybe a milder winter.
Huh.
Yeah. See, I've been thinking like it's gonna be icy. Like it's not gonna be snow, but you know, or if we do get a lot more rain, that will keep us somewhat milder. But if we do get colder than normal, that could lead to a lot of ice. So it's gonna be a lot of days where it's that Arkansas slushy, where it could be rain here, but
That's like every storm
sleet in Harrison and
around here. That's the
freezing rain,
worst.
in Eureka Springs. Like, it's just gonna be slushy.
Is this already the
Yes.
Arctic Oscillation? Okay, so check this out. What is the Arctic Oscillation? So we talked about how Ron says, I hate to say it, we're due for an ice storm. We kind of had
Oh,
our ice storm on this year, January 24th, but it wasn't ice. It was such a heavy snow that it was causing widespread power outages.
Yeah. no,
Because here's the thing that we didn't realize. We thought that, snow isn't going to accumulate on the power lines, and it didn't. But you know what it did accumulate on?
Transformers.
The tree branches.
Oh yeah.
tree branches fall.
And
That's what it does. Yeah.
The trees were evergreens, so they don't have leaves, but they were weighed down from the heavy snow, and then that created a big time power struggle because those trees were coming down on the power lines and they were knocking down the power lines.
Especially if it's wet snow. If it's like
Oh, it was.
if it's like that powder, then
It-
it's not really gonna accumulate.
Yeah.
But if it's a little sticky and wet,
we had 8 inches of wet snow. I remember trying to shovel off my driveway. It was heavy, it was wet, and it was about as wet as you can get because it was 33, 32 degrees when it was
Yeah,
snowing.
that perfect snowball snow.
It was perfect snowball. You could pick it up and you'd immediately have a snowball. It
Yeah.
was incredible.
packed
So you
that
guys remember
up.
that. Okay, very cold temperatures next week. Yes, risk to your irrigation system. Make sure you clean it out. Now, it's not going to be down into the teens, but it does get down into the mid-20s. So we're talking about some really cold weather.
So we're thinking like drip the faucet overnight.
If your pipes are exposed, yes. Before I get to that, I do want to show the Arctic Oscillation because I bounced around a little
Yeah.
bit. So we were talking about El Nino, and El Nino, the polar jet typically remains to the north. So with that being said, the Arctic Oscillation is really the key to our entire winter and how cold it's going to be.
Yeah. And I
No-
described it in the
Yeah.
blogger article as turning on the faucet or dumping that ice bucket over you.
That's a great idea. You know how like when you're in a ride and you're spinning around? Well, when you're spinning around on a ride, like the swing, your swings are extended out.
Yep.
So think of that being higher in latitude. So your cold air is being bottled up at the top of the globe in the North Pole. So this always happens. The Arctic Oscillation is something that always occurs. You might know it as the polar vortex.
Yeah, and I talked about
So,
that
yeah.
as well.
All right.
Polar vortex, it's just a series of really cold air spinning around the poles, but you kind of just nudge that with a little change in the weather. And I said it's like when you push a spinning top, it knocks it all out of whack. And that's when you get these big undulations in all the
Screw
Arctic
energies,
air, and you get from a positive to a negative. So that's when the faucet's turned on and you get all the cold air that starts flowing down south. You get that cross polar flow, and then you freeze.
So this is what happens here. You get what he said. You get sudden stratospheric warming way up.
Oh, yeah.
Stratosphere is above the troposphere. So you have very warm air. What that does is that in turn weakens that oscillation because it heats it up. So when it heats it up, it makes it weaker. And when it's weaker in a negative phase, you get these dips of cold air that are allowed to drop south. Well, guess what? This is where your polar jet is. Now, instead of it being to the north, it's dipping to the south. Now, we have had El Nino years where it hasn't snowed much here. And the reason is because the tracks of the system were in Kansas and Missouri, and they just didn't quite make it far enough south. We got a lot of rain, but we didn't get a lot of winter weather. Kansas City got blasted like 4 or 5 times, including a snow squall warning, but we didn't have that here.
Always on that line.
So we're
Not quite
always
anymore.
on that line.
Northwest flow.
Do what?
If it was northwest flow,
Well, see, northwest flow in the winter time is a little different. It does not bring as much winter. You've got to have these big systems, positive tilted troughs, hopefully cold air, because a lot of times it's a struggle to get the cold air. Okay, let me look at I'm going to look at this here. This is the CPC. We didn't look at this before, but this is the winter outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. This is their official outlook. And what this tells you is absolutely nothing. No, honestly, no.
Throw it in the trash.
What it does is remember the El Nino, how the polar jet was going to be farther north? Well, that's exactly what this is showing. The polar jet's farther north. So typically that would be above normal temperatures. Above normal is favored in the Pacific Northwest. You'll see that we kind of have a predominant ridge over basically the winter season. Season is December, January, February. Near normal, basically that's saying the temperatures will be around average. But you'll notice we're in this thing called equal chances. That means that there's a possibility that the temperatures could be below average or above average. There's just absolutely no tilt in the scales on the probability. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but those are trash.
All right. Next, they don't have a very good skill score. But I do believe in this. The winter outlook, above normal possible, equal chances farther north. This is because of that subtropical jet, which, by the way, can bring a lot of severe weather. If you get a fluctuation in temperatures and you have that subtropical jet, then you got a lot of moisture that's streaming up from the Gulf. You can have warm spells. That brings severe weather potential.
Because it's always super drastic changes from warm to moist.
Yeah.
It's not like just a shallow gradient. It is like day and night, and that's when you have insane amount of lift. That's when you get some really severe storms.
And you know what those are from too? You get the low level jet that races
Oh,
that
yeah.
moisture northward, and it's even
It's an extra
stronger
push.
in the wintertime. So, Blaze, I don't know if RDOT put any new traffic cams. Did they
Not sure.
Hey, that's a good idea. Might email them about that. They should.
put up some new ones?
Yeah.
I hope they do. Maybe they got that. So Damon says, truth, Arctic oscillation, polar vortex, and active southern stream can equal big winter storms. Or if the much warmer Pacific Gulf air mass is dominant, we get more severe storms. This is why we had our most historic and deadly severe weather events in the winter. Very good. Now, typically, just to let you know, La Nina is what brings the really active severe weather seasons in the
Yeah.
winter.
Yeah.
It's La Nina. We're not in a La Nina. I'm late. Could we get ice? Yes, we could get ice. We could get a little snow. If you missed the forecast that we showed on the news, no problem. We'll give you this right now and show you what we've got. So, Tim, well, the bucket is ready, baby. Oh, we got Brian on here. Cool. So there's the past winners. Since 87, 88, this is a lot of winners, and only 8 of them have been below average. So that's not a whole lot below average. Yeah, Zach, you guys scooch on in there.
You need to make that box bigger.
Yeah, I know.
Well, then it covers up more of the graphics.
Yeah.
Just get rid of the box. No one wants to see us.
Yeah, that's right. Goodbye. So there you go. Snowy late January. That's what we had this past winter.
Yeah.
And when we say winter, we're talking about December through February. So December is the previous year, and January, February is this year. Real confusing when you're doing statistics, but it's a whole lot better than figuring out when the when the winter solstice took place. Can you imagine trying to figure out each year when the winter solstice took place and then averaging the winter?
You forget that.
It'd be crazy.
Forget about it.
Yeah, no way.
my
Not
favorite.
happening. The rest. So this winter, we have an El Nino continuing, and that equals cooler and wetter, as we showed you. So this is our prediction. We have 2 light snows and one heavy snow. I know that's a little more than the fogs in August, but I think we see one chance with higher elevation see snow. It might not be super widespread.
Yeah. The reason I said like 2 light snows, 1 heavy snow, because that is more than the fogs. But I looked at when we had 3 years of La Nina followed by an El Nino. So I think we're gonna have slightly above average snowfall.
All
So
right.
that's why I think,
Slightly above, and the average for our winter the last 30 years, the normal is 6.5. Even for 60 years, right? Going back,
Yeah.
is it 6.5?
Mhm.
So it doesn't really change much. And I think we see above average temperatures in February. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't get snow or ice. We can get that late January, February.
Right.
Someone asked me today, when's our first snow going to happen? That's always the tough one. It could be Sunday night in higher elevations.
for Harrison,
I think honestly, I think it's going to be sleet more than
Yeah.
anything. We just don't have the profile that's cold aloft all the way. So, but yeah, there's our prediction. It's a collaborated effort. I think we're all on the same page. And so I think we see, like you said, an average snowfall, slightly above average, and then also temperatures. What do you think? Slightly below?
Slightly below, like 2 to 3 degrees below. So like an average high, instead of like the low 50s, maybe the high 40s. Like instead of 30 degrees for the low, maybe like 29, 28.
Dakota said this is gonna all change when it's time, no doubt. And that's why, honestly, I don't really like doing long range forecasts
Yeah.
because they're difficult.
You have to make a
They're
broad, you have
tough.
to make a broad assumption.
However, do we still have? Did we get this back?
Yes. It's older. You have to like go somewhere else. I pulled it right there.
Is that it?
Well, it would be at
No,
the
that was
top,
the,
right?
Yeah,
that was the old one.
Go to most
No.
recently updated.
I did.
It should be at the top.
I recovered it and then I pulled it up and then I don't know where it went.
Let's see here. Nope, that one.
Trying to
No.
find last year's outlook.
I recovered it and then
Hold
somebody
on.
pulled it up. Right
Yeah.
But, yeah, so many graphics. Stuff gets saved over
See if I can pull it up.
by accident.
Is that it? Oh, there it is, right there.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. See?
Dan's got it.
Okay.
All right.
I
All
knew
right.
I recovered it. I just couldn't figure out where it went.
So this is what we had last winter, and I know that it's a waiting game, but I got to be honest, we did pretty darn good. Average temperatures, but big swings. La Nina winters, depending on the Arctic oscillation, but this was our prediction. My prediction, our prediction, either way. 2 light snows, 1 medium, which is what we saw. That was at the end of January after we had the big mama. That was the heavy snow that happened January 24th. The only thing I didn't get right was cold January and February. There was some cold time periods, and it was cold in the early part of February, but it did not stay cold in February. It warmed up dramatically. And it was very warm in December until, if you remember, late December, right before Christmas. Oh, man, that cold front that came in, it dropped the temperature like you would not believe.
Oh, yeah.
In fact,
Got cool.
I'll show you real quick. We can look at this. You got to see this. Because you guys, were you here, Zach?
Yep.
For that one?
For December?
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't remember if I visited family last time.
All I know is that I remember this very well because I had some water fountains and I was like, I'll just leave them open. I kind of want to be able to see those. And then I had to keep them running. I had a frozen waterfall. It was rough. So December 22nd, wait till you see this temperature drop of this past, 2022. Oh yeah. So let's go to 21 because there was 2 pushes of cold air. There we go. Now we're talking. All right. So here's what we can do. We can bring this up. Go back to, I'm gonna pull this up full. Stand by. Just takes a little bit of time since we don't have 2 screens. But I can go into here, share screen. Okay, share. All right, let's see here. Bring this up. All right, there you go. So this is a look at December 21st before the front moved in. We had 49 degrees, not too bad. But then all of a sudden that front came in and boy, did it drop. So now it's at 30, 29. Now that's before, we got to midnight. Then it slightly warmed up. But then the next day is when the front plummeted in. Now you got to see this because you thought that was cold. Now it hovers around 34, 35, 36. And right about 8 o'clock, man,
Oh.
0, -2, -3. Yeah. And there was a little bit of winter weather and it snowed at like 5 degrees Fahrenheit. It was so cold. And look at the wind too. You see those winds? 32 miles an hour. The wind chill was like 40, 45 below. It was
I
unbelievable.
just wouldn't get out of bed that day.
Oh, it was. Look at the wind gusts. Light snow, light snow, light snow. It was brutal. That was so cold.
Oh, it has the wind chill. -12.
No, I think that's a dew
Oh,
point.
dew point.
Yeah, it doesn't have the wind chill.
Mm.
I know the wind chill was like 40 below. It was 41, 42 below. It was unbelievable how cold it was. And then December 23rd. So you're thinking we might have a white Christmas, right? Nope. Warmed right back up to a balmy 13 degrees. But after that, the next day, the 24th, that's when we started to warm back up. So now it was still below freezing, but the sun melted. Even though it was cold, the sun was
Yeah.
out, melted all the snow. We didn't have any snow, but it was cold. It was a cold Christmas. 38 got above freezing,
Oh, that's mid.
but that's a pretty cold week, man.
Christmas Day was all right, but all the other days, that is brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cold, man. That was a chilly one.
Bone chilling.
Average is 4.43. So, anyways, I thought that was pretty cool to show you because that was some chilly ones. Just jumped on El Nino, moderate winter. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say El Nino, we're going to have slightly above average snowfall, slightly below average temps.
Yeah. But pretty mid overall.
La Ninas are a pain. They are because you get such fluctuations in the jet stream. This is going to be a cold Halloween night. You got it. In fact, we didn't show that yet because we've been so busy diving into all of the winter folklore, all that stuff. What do you say we do show the temperature and the wind chill on the European here?
Oh yeah, yeah. Next Sunday, going to be a pretty big temperature dip. Going to have to watch for that.
Now another thing.
Start out nice and mild, but by the afternoon.
This coming Sunday?
Yeah.
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 You said next Sunday, so I was like,
That's
Wait.
that. Here we go again.
No, it's all right.
next Sunday is like 2 weeks from now.
I said this Sunday, right?
Yeah, you said next Sunday.
He said next Sunday.
Another poll.
Oh no.
Well, no, because you think Sunday is part of next week.
I do.
Yeah, but it's not next Sunday. It's
This
upcoming Sunday.
upcoming Sunday. Yeah, we went back and forth on this. So, anyways, enough of that. This Sunday, here's the rain that comes in. Boy, we got a lot of rain coming in on Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, evening. But here is this temperature drop. So Sunday night, we go from 50s and we drop pretty quickly all the way down into the mid to upper 30s. And look at that. The European even has a freeze for us. 31, 33 in Fayetteville. That's pretty cold for the European.
Yeah.
So look at the wind chill. Now, Monday kind of moderates a little bit. But then we get another push of cold air. And look at Tuesday morning.
Oh.
Now, that's in the upper 20s. And I think that's about right. The wind's not too strong. Now, look at Halloween, though. That's it. 46. And that's when the sun's out. But then when kids are trick-or-treating, I mean, it's going to be down into the upper 30s.
The
Yeah.
wind chill.
Mid to upper
And look at the
30s.
wind chill in the upper 20s. And then watch what happens
November
Wednesday.
1st morning. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Wind
Wednesday,
kind of settles a little bit.
that's going to be a hard freeze. And that's going to be a killing freeze.
Killing
Killing
Yeah.
freeze is 24 and below.
Killing freeze for Anderson, Bentonville. I mean, Fayetteville 25, but let's face it, the model's way too warm.
Yeah.
They're always warm, especially the European. But that's going to be bad news for the leaves. So my advice is this weekend, that's not going to be the best for fall
If
foliage.
you can find a time.
But
when it's not
Friday,
Yeah.
tomorrow we've got rain that's coming through.
Yeah.
That happens in the morning, late morning. After that, it clears out. And I think we have some good fall foliage, but then the winds pick up again.
Definitely.
So just so much going on for
Fall
sure.
came and went.
Would you like to let's show you this? This is what's going to happen throughout our Friday. So first of all, Friday night, this front that comes in brings us some rain. Friday, basically morning into the early afternoon. Then the front stalls out to our south. Then on Saturday, that front returns back to the north as a warm front. That could lead maybe to some I'm still thinking maybe a strong storm or two is not out of the question on
Yeah, it could be
Sunday.
possible.
Some hail potentially.
Some visibility behind that front.
And then after the front lifts northward, guess what? It's like, nope, I'm going straight back south. And now the cold air comes plunging south. See how the rain sticks around too? And then after the rain starts to clear out at the very, very end, look at that, at the tail end. I do believe that in higher elevations, now let me preface that, I don't think Fayetteville sees a wintry mix.
No.
I would be very surprised if Fayetteville sees a wintry mix. But I do think higher elevations such as the Boston Mountains, and we're talking about Madison County, Newton County, Boone County, the usual suspects, going to see potentially some little bit of sleet.
5 sleep pellets.
Yeah. Hey, but then it's a mix.
Yeah.
Now, what about the NAM, the new NAM? Have you looked at it?
Oh yeah.
Let's look at the NAM 3 kilometer.
It's got something too.
Does it?
Not the NAM 3 kilometer, but the
Oh,
one.
yeah.
The other one.
The other NAM. Okay, let's look at this
The
one.
good NAM.
So this is the NAM 12 kilometer. Or 20, isn't it? Or no, it's a 12 kilometer. All right, so there's the rain. Now watch what happens on Saturday. So there's that warm front lifting northward. Look at all those storms. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's some heavy rain right there. And just to let you know, that's right around trunk or treat time. A lot of those aren't happening anymore.
Yeah.
Trunk or treats are canceled.
Go to Monday morning.
So here's Saturday night. See that? Look at that winter storm off to the west.
Yeah.
it's
A lot of
crazy.
snow in Denver and in the
Ooh,
Colorado
Texas Panhandle
Rockies.
might see some.
Texas Panhandle, probably see some freezing rain, I
Yeah.
bet. And then you see it starting to move out. Now, watch what happens when that cold air arrives right about here. Look at the very tail edge. Right there. Right on the back edge. And then look at the cold air arriving. So, as typical with this area, the cold air is arriving as the precipitation's moving out. But that's showing the same thing right there.
Yeah.
Hot hands are a must for sure.
Yeah, especially in the deer stand, especially with my long legs. You know, I got limited circulation. I put them in the boots, keep the feet warm.
Oh no. Yeah, that's no go, Dina. That's going to be trouble. Not only is it going to be raining heavy, but there's going to be lightning as well. Now, maybe Saturday night might not be as much lightning, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, I would love to see Pumpkin Nights because I think this is the last night they do it, and then they go to Christmas.
Yeah.
So here's a look at just to let you know, there is some rain coming tomorrow. So if we look at the forecast for tomorrow, here's a look at the rain that comes in middle of the day, but then look at it clear out. And there's going to be breaks in the clouds. Maybe not a lot over Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Man,
I don't know. I'm not sure I'm buying that. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like behind the front. Well, the front kind of stalls out just south
it
of us.
does. So
So
a
maybe
lot
the
of
drier air might not come in.
overrunning. Now look at the rain that's popping up. Oh
The
my
front
goodness.
retreating north.
So
Well,
here's
I
the
tell you
front
what, though,
retreating north.
If those clouds hang out, tomorrow's high is going to be a little bit cooler.
Yeah. But it wasn't cooler today. What was the high today?
76.
Now check this out. This is our, let me see if this moves. Okay, no, it doesn't move. So this is all the weather systems that are coming in. And you got to see this because it's pretty insane. This is why we're seeing so much rain. So a lot of people asking about the weekend plans. I don't think they're a good idea. And here's why. Saturday night, I don't know what the plans are, Brandon, but if it's a restaurant or something like that, don't cancel your plans then. It's fine.
If it's a party.
Yeah.
make sure it's
Party?
indoors.
A Halloween party? Let me know where it's at and I'll be there. So again, here's a look at the European. Now you see all that energy, and this is called a positively tilted trough. You can just see how that energy is lagging to the west, and it's not swinging through. We got all those little Baja blasts coming off of Baja, and then look at that system coming through. I had one tonight, by the way.
Nice.
Baja blast. I needed some energy. Look at that.
Whoa.
Look at that though. That is some super cold air. And then look at it plunge south right here.
Why is it lagging so much?
I don't know.
That's weird. Doesn't normally do that.
I know. Oh, it's doing a backup. That's why it does a backup typically around this time. Come on, load. It is lagging
Oh yeah, that second.
big time. Whoa.
Whoa, a second punch.
What is
Friday,
this thing?
Friday, November or Thursday into Friday next week.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Is that cold enough for?
Nope. I don't think so. I'm not
Cold
buying it.
enough for what?
Yeah, it's
Snow?
gonna moderate.
I mean, the models did not show snow for that.
That's pretty far out. You know, who knows?
That's not the right trajectory.
Wait, what day was that? Was that the third,
Second and third.
second?
Yeah.
It's the third.
Now the third, remember, it shows it over us, but the precipitation is out ahead of it.
Yeah, that's Thursday.
Anyway, Saturday night plans.
Halloween party indoors, good. Outdoors, bring it inside.
Yeah.
That's what I think. We only looked at the European. Let's look at the GFS. I don't even know if I have it even loaded, to
I
be
would.
honest with you. Well, let's do this. This
Yeah.
might be kind of cool. Let's look at a 4-panel here. This will tell us all the different precipitation amounts according to the models. So the graph shows 1.5 to about 2 inches, some isolated amounts over that. Seems reasonable, but I think it's a little underdone. European, that's about 2.5
It's
inches.
pretty too far east.
That's where the Weather Prediction Center has their bullseye for heavy rain. And the GFS has really heavy rain in the River Valley.
I think that's doing a pretty good job.
You do?
I think it's gonna be a little bit more north.
Yeah, a little bit more north, but
But it
Yeah.
shows the bullseye. Look at the
wait,
NAM.
actually, I think that might be nailing it.
That might be pretty
Yeah.
good.
NAM is good with these cold fronts.
Yep.
These strong winter
Man.
cold fronts.
There's a reason why we still have it.
Yeah, there's a reason why it's still running. But
been
no,
going
the
strong
European
for
definitely
years.
had too much Far East movement.
Yeah.
Um,
How about the WPCs
yeah, I haven't showed that yet, have I?
and the excessive rainfall risk?
Oh,
Ooh.
good call. There's just so much. I couldn't include
I
it all
know,
in
yeah,
the
you
weather
can't.
forecast.
Limited on time.
So here's the Weather Prediction Center outlook. And we say 2 to 4 plus because if you'll notice, this is a bullseye contour of 5 to 7.
The NAM had that.
That could be some super heavy rain. This is a 3 to 4 contour right here. I think that might be a little overdone. But I do think a 2 to 4 corridor right through the River Valley, clipping Northwest Arkansas. Now, what about Branson? Branson is in the cusp of that. There's going to be rain and storms in Branson, especially later on in the Saturday night time frame
Yeah, that
as
front.
that storms
Yeah,
lifts
the
northward.
warm front will be right over Branson during the evening.
Yeah, Saturday night.
Well, and if we look at the Weather Prediction Center risk for flooding, this is Saturday into Sunday, or Friday night into Saturday, or Friday morning into Saturday morning. Okay, and there's where the rain starts developing in the Saturday morning time frame, essentially. And then we look at this one, and boy, that's a bullseye right over us. So that's all lifted northward. That's that precipitation with thunderstorm activity that's coming in. Well, I think that about covers it. I think we covered everything, and I think there's nothing more to talk about unless you guys give us a little bit more comments. We still have 123 people on here.
Check out the blog.
Yeah. Let me
just I spent a lot of time.
please
I think it's
do.
a pretty good read.
Yeah. And,
I don't
and
know.
more
It's a little
people are gonna see it tomorrow, because
Notification going out tomorrow.
yep,
8 a.m.
notification going out tomorrow, and we're gonna include this as well, so you can
Blog.
you can watch it. Yeah, sorry, I was thinking as I was talking. Let's bring this up real quick. So we're gonna bring up our weather blog. We're gonna show you where to go to get this. So let me go to share screen. Be really nice if we had 2 screens to do this.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So you go to knwa.com. Click on that. That's going to take you to here, weather. Now, tomorrow it's going to be up here in the top stories.
Yeah.
Probably down here.
There
somewhere.
it is in the bottom right.
Oh, is it? Yep, there it is right there. Featured stories. You go to weather. You go to weather blog. Click on that. And boom, there's your weather forecast. So what do we all have in here? Large scale weather pattern, exactly what it looks like. Comparing 3+ years of La Nina to an El Nino. These are the winters that it looked like, 57, 58. That was actually not so snowy of a winter.
Yeah. But look, it's the next two. Lots and lots of
Got
snow.
76.
Look at 77, 76, 77. Now, 76 means December 76, January, February 77. 14 inches of snow and a lot of rainfall, too.
And it was freezing cold. Look at that. 20 degrees for your average and low.
That's really cold. And then 2009, 2010, 24.3. That's still pretty cold. What are the means, the typicals for that year or for that time? Here's your average low right
Yeah.
here. So 26.9. So that's colder, slightly colder, but still not a lot of snow. So they're all kind of slightly colder.
That's why I took the averages
Yep.
of those. Took the average of those averages, so it was easier to compare.
So you can see it right here. Those 3 years.
About 3 degrees cooler.
It's a lot of numbers, but it's important to analyze them to get an idea. We conclude will likely be cooler and wetter than normal, and maybe even snowier than normal. And I think the squirrels are reading your blog.
Good. Good. At least someone reads
At least someone's reading it, huh?
Squirrels can't read.
Got the Arctic Oscillation. Yeah, please let us know if you see this because it really is a good. It's got all the folklore in there. It's got the Farmer's Almanac. It's got the winter prediction. What we're looking at. So yeah, just a good read there. So check it out, read it, share it with your friends. We're gonna post it on social media tomorrow. And
Don't read it.
no, you gotta read it. Get
Yeah.
in the know, baby. All right, we can remove it. We want the address for the Halloween party. Actually, I won't be able to go Saturday night because I'm going to be emceeing an event for the Northwest Arkansas Women's Shelter. Fresh start.
Nice.
No, Beth. No. Roads are too warm. We won't have any issues travel wise. None.
Yeah, we're probably gonna
just
wait till
won't.
December for that to be in the question.
Yeah, Dina, you can bring ponchos, but it would be miserable to be at Silver Dollar
oh, yeah.
City on
Super cold
Saturday
rain.
night. Yeah.
You're tearing that poncho. I'm not going to be liking that too much.
Well, they having like the roller coasters open too.
Well, they don't if they have lightning.
Why not?
And speaking of that, with lightning, I haven't looked at the 18Z. I'm gonna
Flash extend density.
go back to this. Yeah, what did it show?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't look.
Let's show you here. Just go to the links here. Sorry about that.
Weather bell.
Weather models. Weather bell. Yeah, getting tired. The Baja Blast is wearing off.
Oh.
It's all right. We're good. We're good.
Uh,
We're good. Lightning flash rate instantaneous.
Eat some persimmon fruit.
Arkansas.
that,
That's bad stuff. Let's see what this looks like here. Oh,
ooh.
so that's Sunday. There's Saturday. Oh yeah. Okay. Now you tell me if you want to be going to Silver Dollar City. So this is the amount of lightning. This is the flash density. Basically, 1,000 kilometers per day at that time. So you'll see here.
Yes, the amount of flashes.
That's
in a,
Saturday
100
morning.
square kilometer.
Yep, and it's 100 square kilometers.
Yeah.
So
That's a lot of lightning.
that is Saturday at 10 o'clock. That's 11. There's noon. There's 1. There's 2. Here comes the next wave. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Ooh.
10, right over Branson. 11. And look, it just keeps continuing. If we were colder, dude, and we had an Arctic air mass coming in tomorrow, this would be ice storm written all over it.
Negative Arctic oscillation.
What are we in right now with the oscillation? That's actually a good question.
Negative.
Is it?
look at the jet stream.
Yeah, but well, no, you got to look at the polar vortex. Yeah, that's pretty neutral right now. It's pretty neutral, so
that's good.
I don't know if I'm bringing that up right. Yep,
Yeah.
there's the Arctic Oscillation.
Up is positive, down is negative.
Yep,
So there's a little bit of a forecast. too?
little
Is that
little
what-
bit of a negative. It's a little bit negative, and then there's the forecast. Yeah, and there's the ensembles. Basically, doesn't know which way it's going,
Terrible.
just like everything else.
Yep. That's why you're a meteorologist.
And then you can also get those oscillations too on Weather Bell if you need to.
What?
Yep,
Really?
yep. Maps, teleconnections, right here.
But
Yeah.
that's cool.
Isn't that cool? And we
Yeah.
can look at, we can get everything. We can get the ECM deterministic. So this shows basically how it's right now 28, 29. So this is the start of it. It kind of goes a little negative, -1. That's not super strong. The GFS deterministic, kind of very similar. The ensembles, it does show a little bit of negative starting up in early November. Look at that.
That'd be a pretty cold
But
start.
then it might warm back up. Wonder if we see severe weather the following week.
Oh, like the second week in November?
Oh, no.
It's possible. Look at how it warms up.
These
So,
Yeah.
big swings.
Yeah, those big
man,
swings.
that's what we're probably going to see. So
Yeah, we're due for some like second
Dean-
season. for this year.
Dean is like,
I know, yeah.
I agree, man.
Bad news, but
yeah. They do not close Silver Dollar City, but they have everybody go inside for Lightning. So they will not have the rides on. And they won't ride them until 30 minutes after the last lightning bolt within an 8-mile radius.
Yeah, it won't be powder keg making the sound.
Which
of the actual
means,
thunder.
yeah, no, exactly. You smell smoke. I love that part, man. You're about to go on there, and it's like, have you never ridden it?
No.
Oh, dude. we
Weather.
gotta go.
Okay, so we got weather bonding to do. We got to go to Top Golf,
Yep.
steak dinner, and go to Silver Dollar City.
All right, I'm down.
All right. Are you roller coaster ride?
Nah.
Are you an ace?
Oh, you gotta be aces like Dan,
Yeah.
Dan, Josh, and I.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
American
American
Coaster
Coaster
Enthusiasts. Oh, that was in stereo too. Well, guys, have any questions? Speak now or forever hold your peace. We'll let you. We'll let this go a couple more minutes. We got to do weather rate before it closes, which is going to be a really tough forecast. Maybe it'll ice when it comes back. You're welcome, Dina. Be safe. I'm off tomorrow. That's why we're doing the winter forecast on a Thursday night. I will be MIA. I've got some stuff going on. There's not going to be a whole lot going on tomorrow, so that's good. But Peyton and Zach got you holding down the fort tomorrow night. Josh is on in the morning. And appreciate you guys, man. Good work today.
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
All right. Anything else? I think we covered
Nope.
everything, man.
So
My son's going to be getting his new set of wheels tomorrow. Oh, is it going to snow in Mountain Home? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think if you're talking about like at all, yeah. I mean, over the winter,
Sometimes
yes.
it's winter.
But as far as Sunday night
Coming
and
up?
Monday, I don't think so.
maybe a few sleep pellets. but-
Maybe the cold air is going to get a little bit later there, and the
Yeah.
precipitation moves out. I don't know.
I mean,
it all
like
depends.
you might see some frozen precip, but the impacts from it are going to be zero.
You may now kiss the models, laugh out loud. For March, expect a winter storm 2 from flurries to a Cat 5. Well,
And kiss the models goodbye.
yeah, kiss the models goodbye. Here's what I think. I don't think you're going to see a Cat 5 in March. That's not happening. But you could see a winter storm. You can see quite a bit in March. There's been some
Yeah.
big snows. In fact, in 2012, let me think. Yeah, 2012, we had our first snow on, well, it wasn't a first snow, but it was a big snow on the first day of spring, March 21st. It's a foot of heavy, wet snow.
Was there a
Nice.
baseball game that time?
But the roads were fine. No, it wasn't it wasn't a baseball game. It was in the middle of the week, so there wasn't a Tuesday when they have
Oh,
those
yeah.
midweek games.
That would have been fun playing in the snow.
It was pretty crazy though. The first day. In fact, I still have a Weather Channel hit that I did. I did a Weather Channel hit on the
Nice.
first day of spring, and you see the snow. The roads were just kind of wet, so yeah, that storm was insane, man. Otis just ramped up like absolute nuts. It
Well, I
was.
think the Weather Channel's dropped like a little article talking about like Acapulco got destroyed.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I haven't been able to see. I've seen
I haven't
some
either.
of
I
the
just got the
things.
notification on my watch.
I mean, it was bad. You didn't see much because the infrastructure, all that stuff. That's 1 million people, man. That's more than the population of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, and really almost even Little Rock combined.
So was it 12 hours from a tropical storm to a Cat 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
24 hours.
24 hours.
24 hours. It was less than 24 hours. It went from tropical storm to Category 5.
What did National Hurricane Center have it doing?
Oh, tropical storm. Yeah.
Complete bust.
No, you are not, Donna. Sorry. In Limestone, you have a lot more rain to come. You got some heavy rain potential. It's going to get pretty rough. Severe weather, not so much, but heavy rain in Limestone and Newton County. And I think, honestly, you're going to see a little bit of light sleet pellets on Sunday night and a Monday. So, yeah, I know. Sorry about that. If you're just hopping on here, we'll give you one last look here at the forecast for Newton County, especially since you had to set up a whole new Facebook account.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Facebook, Facebook.
But you know what? We're getting to connect with you fine, lovely people.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that's cool about it. And the MetaQuest is cool. Do like that. All right, so here's a look at Friday night. There's Saturday. There's rain for Newton County. Look at that. Rain for Saturday at midday. There's Saturday night. There's Sunday morning. There's Sunday afternoon. There's Sunday evening and into Monday morning. And then look at that. That's kind of very close to Limestone right there. A little bit of a winter man. Then it moves out and then it's gone. But boy, is it going to get cold. So, and if we zoom in a little more, I keep in mind the front's not going to be perfect, but this is a little more higher resolution. There you see all those storms that are popping. Wow, that's right around trunk or treat time too.
Oh, yeah.
So glad they're not doing
Yeah.
that.
Another little wave.
Yep. And then that's as far out as it goes. Let's see if we got the 12 kilometer.
I think it's a good decision to move
Yeah.
that
yeah.
because lightning.
All that stuff
pretty
could be a
dangerous.
mess. Okay, so here's the rain coming in tomorrow. That's not a big deal. Midday. Watch the front lift northward. There's all the storms. More storms. More storms that goes through Sunday. And keep in mind, this is probably not filled in enough. And then look at that. There's some winter weather already showing up in southeast Kansas. Just a little bit. So that's Sunday night. Continues to be cold too.
I'm
I
buying
think we're not in
that.
Kansas.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
in
yuck,
Arkansas.
yuck. I know you're probably like, okay, too bad I signed on. I don't want to see all that stuff. I guess there is one last thing. We always close it out with the 7-day. We haven't done that yet. So let's give you the 7-day forecast. We got it all included in there. So midday rain. Evening looks good. It's tough to put the cloud in the middle, 76 on Friday. Saturday, not too bad, but still pretty cool. 65. Thunderstorms on and off throughout the day, especially late afternoon into the evening. The active weather continues into Sunday. I mean, the weekend's just miserable.
Oh, yeah.
Really is. And
Yeah, and Sunday evening, I don't think the cloud's clear.
no,
Definitely not. Gonna be
Nope.
cloudy weekend.
yep.
Get your vitamin D supplements.
Because you won't be getting vitamin D from the sun.
Exactly.
And then there's that wintry mix early Monday morning potentially. Look at the lows, 27, 24. That's a killing freeze. And we're still below freezing. So you know what I got to do tomorrow?
Bring in that nugget ice
I'm not happy about that. Oh, man. So here's a look at River Valley, active weather. Similar, cold still, upper 20s, lower 30s. So
Yeah, cold is cold.
there you go. You got everything, and that's it. And that sums it up. Now, Donna, tomorrow the rain isn't that much. So if the farmer's market is tomorrow evening or tomorrow morning, it'll be okay. Midday, a little bit of light rain. That's not the big rain. That's just
No.
kind of like a warning shot off the bow from Mother Nature. So, all right. Well, I think nobody else is talking. We lulled them to sleep. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And read that weather blog. Peyton put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into that. So, and thanks, Zach, for all your help too. All right. See you guys. God bless.